Ethan Parker stepped off the sleek transport ship and felt the vastness of the Galactic Council station surround him. Towering structures of glass and metal stretched in every direction, reflecting the light of distant stars. The station was a hub for the most powerful alien species in the galaxy, a place where decisions could affect countless worlds. Ethan took a deep breath, adjusting his uniform and checking the small device on his wrist. It contained all the protocols and speeches he might need for his diplomatic mission. Alice Monroe walked beside him, her sharp eyes scanning every detail. She had trained with Ethan for months, learning the language and customs of each alien species that might sit on the council. Her calm presence helped Ethan steady his nerves. David Hill followed closely, holding a datapad filled with statistics, treaties, and maps of known council territories. Together they formed the Human Envoy, representing Earth at a meeting that could determine the future of their planet. The doors to the main chamber opened silently, revealing rows of seats occupied by beings of all shapes and sizes. Some had multiple arms, others glided without legs, and a few had features that made Ethan's head spin. He had seen pictures and simulations, but nothing compared to standing in the room where history was made. The council members looked down at him with a mix of curiosity, disdain, and amusement. Ethan cleared his throat, activating the translation device embedded in his uniform. His voice, clear and steady, echoed through the chamber. "I come as a representative of Earth seeking dialogue and cooperation. We hope to maintain peace and build relationships that benefit all species." A tall, blue-skinned alien with eyes like molten gold leaned forward. It spoke in a language that twisted and curled in the air, but the device translated it immediately. "Your species is ambitious. You have technologies that threaten balance. Why should we believe your intentions are pure?" Ethan held the gaze unshaken. "Because Earth has always sought peace. Our expansion into space is driven by curiosity and survival, not conquest. We wish to share knowledge, not destroy worlds." The council members murmured among themselves. Ethan noticed some nodding, others frowning. He had expected skepticism, but the tension was higher than he had imagined. Then, without warning, one of the council's elder representatives, a creature that seemed part crystal and part energy, slammed a glowing appendage on the table. "We find your words inadequate," it boomed. "Your species has ignored warnings, trespassed boundaries, and now dares to demand consideration. You will answer for your arrogance." Alice gasped, and David's hand tightened around his datapad. Ethan felt a cold wave of fear, but he forced himself to stay calm. "We are willing to prove our intentions. Give us a chance to demonstrate our respect for the galaxy and its laws." The blue-skinned alien shook its head. "No, human. You will not be given the same leniency as other species. Your punishment will be swift and final." Before Ethan could respond, the chamber erupted in light and sound. Members of the council activated their energy conduits, and a beam of blue light struck Ethan. He felt a searing pain as the energy passed through him. Alice screamed, rushing forward, but a barrier prevented her from reaching him. David's face turned pale as he watched the human envoy fall to the floor, lifeless. The council did not wait for debate. They declared Earth's envoy executed for crimes against galactic peace. Ethan's death was meant to send a message to humanity. Any further expansion or independent action would not be tolerated. Alice and David were escorted out, their protests ignored. On Earth, news of Ethan's execution arrived with a shockwave that rippled through every city. Television screens, holographic projectors, and communication networks all carried the same grim message. People could not believe what had happened. The first human envoy to the Galactic Council had been executed without warning or trial. President Jonathan Miles stood before the nation, his face tense. He spoke directly to the people, acknowledging their fear and anger. "Ethan Parker was a brave representative of our species. The Galactic Council has violated every principle of diplomacy. We will respond with the full measure of our strength." Admiral Karen Blake and General Peter Shaw convened emergency meetings with the world's top military leaders. Plans for defense and retaliation were reviewed, and the Annihilation protocol was activated. This protocol had been prepared in secret for decades, a contingency against extreme threats. It involved the deployment of fleets, advanced weaponry, and specialized forces trained for interstellar conflict. Dr. Samuel Grant, a leading scientist in weapon development, worked tirelessly to prepare Earth's defenses. He developed a new energy-based warhead capable of neutralizing large fleets with precision strikes. Lieutenant Megan Fox trained elite pilots to use new spacecraft equipped with the latest technology. The entire military-industrial complex of Earth moved with unprecedented speed and focus. Alice and David returned to Earth, still in shock from witnessing Ethan's execution. Their testimony confirmed what the Council had done. No diplomacy would be tolerated, and humans were viewed as a threat to be eliminated. The people of Earth, hearing their accounts, were united in anger and resolve. Governments, militaries, and civilians alike prepared for the conflict that would define the future of the galaxy. In the days that followed, Earth demonstrated its growing power. Reconnaissance missions near Council territories showed humans could strike quickly and decisively. Small attacks on outposts signaled that humanity would not wait for another provocation. Alien leaders began to realize that underestimating humans had been a critical mistake. The galaxy that once thought of humanity as a minor species now faced the reality of a force prepared to fight for survival and honor. Alice and David worked alongside intelligence officers to understand the Council's structure and weaknesses. They compiled detailed reports tracking movements, communications, and supply lines. The goal was clear: ensure that no human envoy or citizen would be executed again. They remembered Ethan's sacrifice and vowed it would not be in vain. Meanwhile, President Miles and his advisors debated the next steps. Each option carried risks, but the message from Earth needed to be unmistakable. The Annihilation Protocol was not just a threat. It was a promise that humanity would defend itself and retaliate for the death of its envoy. Earth's fleets were mobilized, scientists finalized weapon systems, and pilots trained rigorously for the upcoming battles. In classrooms, homes, and public squares, humanity prepared mentally and physically for the challenge. Children learned about the importance of courage and unity. Adults shared stories of Ethan Parker, honoring his dedication and bravery. The world was united in a common purpose: to show the galaxy that humans were not to be underestimated or mistreated. The first part of humanity's response was focused on communication and strategy. Alice and David led teams to intercept Council messages, decode alien technology, and predict enemy actions. Their work was crucial, allowing Earth to act with precision rather than reaction. Each victory, no matter how small, was a testament to human ingenuity and determination. As the first fleets of Earth ships approached the border of Council space, a mix of excitement and anxiety filled the command centers. Commander Jonathan Cruz led the forces, demonstrating tactical brilliance that the aliens had never encountered. His strategies were unpredictable, leveraging speed, agility, and coordinated attacks that relied on humans' ability to adapt and innovate. The Council's reaction was mixed. Some feared the humans, others underestimated them, assuming Earth would hesitate. These miscalculations would prove costly. As the first skirmishes occurred, humans showed they were willing to fight with courage and intelligence, not just brute force. Every pilot, engineer, and strategist contributed to the growing legend of humanity's resilience. Back on Earth, citizens watched news feeds showing distant battles and diplomatic maneuvers. There was a sense of unity and pride, knowing their species would not be crushed by fear or intimidation. Ethan Parker's name became a symbol of courage, a reminder of what humans could achieve when faced with impossible odds. Part 1 ended with humanity standing ready, fleets prepared, and a world united under the banner of survival and honor. The galaxy had made a grave mistake in executing the human envoy. Now Earth would ensure that no one would ever doubt the strength and determination of its people. The story of courage, loss, and preparation had only just begun, and the first chapter set the stage for a conflict that would reshape the galaxy forever. Alice Munro and David Hill stepped off the shuttle onto Earth's surface, carrying the weight of what they had witnessed. The execution of Ethan Parker was not just a diplomatic disaster, it was a declaration of hostility against humanity. The air in the command center buzzed with urgency as scientists, military leaders, and diplomats gathered to prepare for what was coming. President Jonathan Miles met them personally. His expression was grave but resolute. "We knew there were risks," he said, "but this crosses every line. Earth will respond decisively." Alice handed over the reports detailing every action of the Council and the circumstances of Ethan's death. David added the intelligence they had gathered, including communications and fleet movements of the Council's forces. Admiral Karen Blake and General Peter Shaw led the emergency sessions to implement the Annihilation Protocol. Every aspect of Earth's defenses was analyzed. Advanced fleets, weapon systems, and tactical strategies were activated. Dr. Samuel Grant's energy warheads were tested under extreme conditions, ensuring they could neutralize large-scale attacks. Lieutenant Megan Fox trained elite pilots, pushing them through simulations and drills to prepare for real battle. In cities across the globe, citizens watched news of the events unfold. The execution of a human envoy shocked and angered the world. Civilians volunteered for support roles, engineers worked overtime to improve defense systems, and communities united in determination. Humanity was no longer a passive participant in the galaxy. It was preparing to show its strength. Alice and David coordinated intelligence missions, focusing on intercepting Council messages and understanding alien technology. Their expertise became crucial for planning counteractions. By decoding communication channels and predicting movements, they gave humanity an edge that even the Council had not expected. Every intercepted message revealed not only the Council's plans but also their fear. They underestimated humans, and it showed. Meanwhile, fleets gathered near the outer rim of human-controlled space. Commander Jonathan Cruz led the main force, a fleet designed for both offense and defense. Human ships, though smaller than the Council's, relied on speed, adaptability, and innovative technology. Each vessel was equipped with energy shields, advanced weapons, and stealth systems, allowing them to operate in ways the aliens could not anticipate. The first demonstration of Earth's power occurred when reconnaissance teams moved into Council territory. Small outposts were neutralized quickly, sending a clear message: humanity would not be intimidated. Civilian populations across the galaxy began to hear stories of humans' courage and strategic genius. The Council's decision to execute Ethan Parker had backfired, uniting humans in purpose and anger. Dr. Samuel Grant oversaw the deployment of advanced warheads, designed for precision strikes against key Council installations. Lieutenant Megan Fox led a squadron of elite pilots on missions that tested both skill and bravery. Each success, no matter how small, boosted morale and demonstrated that humans could operate efficiently even against superior forces. Alice and David reported directly to President Miles and Admiral Blake, advising on the Council's weaknesses. They identified communication nodes, supply routes, and command structures that could be targeted for maximum impact. Their insight allowed humans to act proactively, rather than reacting to Council movements. The entire operation became a balance of strategy, technology, and courage. As Earth's fleets moved closer to Council space, tension grew. Alien leaders debated how to respond, some arguing for immediate retaliation, others seeking diplomacy. Their indecision was costly. Humans took advantage of the confusion, executing precise strikes that disrupted supply lines and communications. Small groups of pilots performed daring maneuvers, taking down larger ships with unexpected strategies. The Council attempted to send another envoy to negotiate, hoping to de-escalate the situation. The humans intercepted the envoy, ensuring that the Council could not underestimate them again. Alice and David carefully documented the event, sending the message back to command. Humans were organized, intelligent, and united. Meanwhile, on Earth, citizens continued to prepare for larger-scale conflict. Industries focused on production of ships, weapons, and supplies. Scientists worked day and night to improve energy systems and defensive shields. Schools emphasized training for future generations in both strategy and technology, ensuring humanity's preparedness would last. Commander Cruz coordinated with Admiral Blake and General Shaw to develop innovative strategies. He relied on speed, unpredictability, and adaptability. Human pilots learned to anticipate alien maneuvers and exploit weaknesses. Their success in early missions demoralized alien forces, demonstrating that human courage and ingenuity were not to be underestimated. The Council's home station became a hub of panic. Factions argued, strategies failed, and misinformation spread. Alien species that once dominated the galaxy began to turn on each other, unsure of how to respond to the humans' coordinated efforts. Alice and David monitored these developments, reporting every piece of intelligence back to Earth Command. President Miles addressed the nation again, this time speaking of humanity's growing strength. "We honor Ethan Parker's sacrifice," he said, "and we will show the galaxy that humanity cannot be intimidated or betrayed. Our actions will defend our people and ensure that no envoy is ever harmed again." As fleets prepared for larger assaults, the first strikes demonstrated the efficiency and discipline of human forces. Energy warheads disabled Council communication hubs, while coordinated pilot squads neutralized strategic points. Each victory, no matter how small, reinforced the growing legend of humanity's skill and bravery. Alice and David continued to work tirelessly, ensuring every mission had maximum impact. Their efforts allowed Earth to anticipate alien movements, exploiting gaps in strategy and technology. Humans demonstrated flexibility, intelligence, and courage, qualities that the Council had underestimated. Civilian populations watched the unfolding events with awe and determination. Children learned the value of bravery, engineers improved technology, and leaders coordinated efforts across the planet. Humanity was united in purpose, driven by the memory of Ethan Parker and the need to defend their species. As Part 2 ended, humanity stood ready for the greater conflicts ahead. Fleets were mobilized, strategies perfected, and the world united. The execution of a single human envoy had ignited a fire that would reshape the galaxy. Earth's people were no longer passive observers. They were a force to be reckoned with. The stage was set for humanity to demonstrate its full potential, proving that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the most powerful adversaries. Commander Jonathan Cruz stood on the bridge of the flagship, his hands gripping the railing as he watched the vast expanse of space. The fleet of human ships spread out before him, ready for the first major confrontation with the Council forces. Every vessel gleamed under the light of distant stars, a testament to Earth's dedication and preparation. Pilots, engineers, and strategists moved with precision, each knowing their role in the coming operations. Alice Munro and David Hill monitored alien communications from the command center. Their work was critical. By intercepting Council signals, they could predict enemy movements and uncover weaknesses. Every piece of data they collected was transmitted to Commander Cruz, allowing the fleet to strike with precision rather than guesswork. The first engagement occurred near a Council supply route. Human scouts detected a convoy moving slowly, unaware of the approaching human ships. Cruz ordered a coordinated attack. Small, fast vessels darted forward, striking with energy beams and disabling key ships. The Council forces scrambled, unable to respond effectively to the human speed and strategy. It was a clear demonstration that Earth's forces were not just brave, but also clever. In the chaos, Alice noticed an unusual pattern in the Council's fleet movements. She called out to Cruz, "They are concentrating too many ships on the right flank. If we strike the left, we can cut off their supply and create confusion." Cruz acted immediately, adjusting the fleet's formation and launching a surprise attack. The plan worked perfectly, catching the Council by surprise and causing significant disruption. David Hill coordinated intelligence on the ground, tracking reinforcements and communication signals. He realized that the Council was struggling to coordinate its diverse species. Some units did not understand commands from their leaders, and internal disagreements slowed their response. David sent this information to Cruz, who used it to plan the next phase of the attack. As human forces pressed forward, smaller skirmishes broke out across the region. Pilots like Lieutenant Megan Fox led daring missions, disabling Council defense satellites and capturing key positions. Each mission required careful planning and bravery. These victories, while small individually, accumulated to show that humans could operate effectively against superior numbers. Back on Earth, President Jonathan Miles addressed the public. He shared news of the initial successes, emphasizing the intelligence, courage, and determination of humanity. Citizens felt pride and hope, knowing their species was fighting not only for survival but also for respect across the galaxy. Engineers continued to improve ship designs, weapon systems, and shields, while new pilots were trained to join the growing fleet. Commander Cruz faced difficult decisions daily. Each battle tested human strategy and adaptability. He relied heavily on Alice and David's intelligence, using their insights to exploit Council weaknesses. Their understanding of alien culture and communication was invaluable, allowing humans to anticipate moves and avoid traps. In one major engagement, a Council battle group attempted to flank the human fleet. Cruz anticipated this maneuver and split his forces, using smaller units to distract the enemy while the main fleet attacked from behind. The Council ships were caught in a crossfire, suffering heavy losses. The human forces achieved victory without losing a single major vessel. The alien commanders were stunned. Humanity's tactics were unorthodox and highly effective. Meanwhile, civilians across Earth continued to support the war effort. Scientists like Dr. Samuel Grant refined energy-based weapons and shields. Engineers worked on faster, more durable ships, and production lines ran around the clock. Alice and David remained at the forefront of intelligence operations, ensuring that the Council could not outmaneuver human forces. As the fleet pushed deeper into Council space, humans encountered more challenging battles. Some alien species used unusual technologies, creating dangerous situations for pilots. However, the combination of human ingenuity, quick thinking, and teamwork allowed them to overcome these obstacles. Each victory reinforced the reputation of humanity as a force that combined intelligence and courage. In one critical mission, Lieutenant Megan Fox led a strike team to disable a Council command hub. The mission required stealth, precision, and courage. The team infiltrated the station, avoiding traps and overcoming advanced defenses. By the time they completed their objective, they had not only crippled the Council's coordination, but also gained valuable intelligence for future operations. Alice and David continued to analyze Council communications. They discovered that the Council's home species were beginning to panic. Reports of failed missions, intercepted messages, and unexpected losses caused divisions within the Council. Some members advocated for negotiation, while others wanted immediate retaliation. Their indecision only worked to humanity's advantage. As Part 3 progressed, humanity's presence in Council space grew stronger. Fleet Commander Cruz and his team demonstrated that humans could adapt to any situation, using strategy, technology, and courage to overcome larger and more powerful forces. The combination of intelligence from Alice and David, bravery from pilots like Megan Fox, and strategic oversight from Cruz and other commanders ensured that humans remained a formidable threat. Back on Earth, citizens celebrated victories while preparing for future battles. President Miles emphasized the importance of unity, courage, and honor. Schools continued to train young minds, engineers continued to innovate, and leaders coordinated resources to ensure sustained success. The world was focused, determined, and ready. By the end of Part 3, humans had established a strong foothold in Council territory. The Council, previously confident in their dominance, now faced a species that could think, adapt, and fight in ways they had not anticipated. Humanity's combination of courage, intelligence, and teamwork had become a legend, and the galaxy began to recognize that Earth's people were not to be underestimated. The human fleet advanced further into Council space, their confidence strengthened by prior victories. Commander Jonathan Cruz stood on the bridge of the flagship, watching as the energy signatures of alien vessels appeared on the sensors. The Council's forces were larger than expected, but humans had the advantage of intelligence, speed, and strategy. Each decision now carried immense weight, and Cruz was determined to use every opportunity to maximize impact. Alice Munro and David Hill analyzed intercepted Council communications from the command center. They had discovered weaknesses in the Council's coordination. Different species had conflicting priorities, and messages often took hours to relay. David sent reports to Cruz, detailing the locations and movements of key Council units. Alice provided cultural insights, allowing humans to predict alien tactics and respond effectively. The first major battle of Part 4 erupted near a Council supply hub. The hub was protected by heavy ships and energy shields, but Cruz had a plan. He split his fleet into small groups, sending one unit to attack from the front while others flanked from unexpected angles. Human pilots moved with precision, striking at weak points that the Council had overlooked. Energy beams tore through shields, disabling ships and leaving the enemy disoriented. In the chaos, Lieutenant Megan Fox led a squadron through a narrow passage to attack the hub directly. The mission was dangerous, but the squadron worked flawlessly. Each pilot relied on skill and teamwork, and they successfully destroyed the hub's main power source. The Council's command began to falter, and communications were disrupted. David and Alice monitored the chaos, reporting that alien forces were retreating and losing coordination. Dr. Samuel Grant oversaw the deployment of a new energy-based warhead designed to disable large ships without destroying them completely. The weapon's precision allowed humans to neutralize Council vessels while minimizing collateral damage. Engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to ensure that each device operated perfectly. The success of the weapon reinforced human confidence and demonstrated the technological edge that Earth had developed. Back on Earth, President Jonathan Miles addressed the public. He spoke of courage, intelligence, and unity, emphasizing that humanity was now a recognized force in the galaxy. Citizens watched the battles unfold on screens, cheering each victory and contributing to the war effort in any way they could. Engineers, pilots, and strategists continued their work, preparing for larger engagements and ensuring that every human had a role in the ongoing conflict. Crews faced continuous challenges as Council fleets regrouped and attempted counterattacks. Some alien commanders tried to isolate human units, but the adaptability and coordination of human forces made these efforts unsuccessful. Crews relied heavily on Alice and David's intelligence, predicting movements and adjusting tactics in real time. The human fleet remained fluid, responding to threats and exploiting opportunities with remarkable efficiency. One pivotal mission involved capturing a Council command station. The station was heavily defended with multiple layers of shields, turrets, and patrols. Crews devised a strategy using deception and speed. Smaller ships created distractions while a specialized squadron penetrated defenses from an unexpected direction. Lieutenant Megan Fox led the assault, using careful maneuvers to avoid detection and neutralize critical systems. The mission succeeded, giving humans access to vital intelligence and further disrupting Council command. Alice and David worked tirelessly to analyze this new information. They discovered that the Council's central leadership was beginning to panic. Factions within the Council argued over strategy, resources, and alliances. Some called for immediate retaliation, while others pushed for negotiation. The indecision caused delays and confusion, which humans exploited through precise attacks and strategic positioning. Crews directed his fleet to capitalize on the Council's disorganization. Human ships executed complex maneuvers, striking weak points and bypassing heavily defended areas. Every engagement reinforced the idea that humans were not predictable or easily intimidated. Pilots like Megan Fox and her team became legends within the fleet, known for courage, skill, and innovation. Meanwhile, Dr. Samuel Grant and his team refined energy systems and weaponry based on battlefield performance. Each improvement allowed humans to maintain technological superiority. Engineers designed new ships with enhanced shields and faster engines, while strategists like Crews developed plans that leveraged both human ingenuity and advanced technology. On Earth, civilians continued to support the war effort. Schools emphasized critical thinking and technical skills, while communities contributed to production and logistics. Every citizen played a role, ensuring that humanity's preparation matched its ambition. President Miles highlighted the importance of unity and honor, reinforcing that every victory in Council space was a triumph for all of humanity. As Part 4 progressed, the human fleet made decisive gains. Entire Council fleets were neutralized and key territories fell under human control. The Council, once confident in their dominance, now struggled to coordinate defenses. Alien species that had long ruled the galaxy began to doubt their strength. Humanity's combination of courage, intelligence, and adaptability had transformed them into a formidable opponent. Alice and David continued to provide critical intelligence, ensuring that every mission had maximum effectiveness. Their work allowed human forces to anticipate Council movements and strike with precision. Every successful engagement reinforced the humans' growing reputation as a force that combined strategy, skill, and courage. By the end of Part 4, humanity had established a strong presence within Council territory. Strategic victories, technological superiority, and coordinated operations demonstrated that humans were not just surviving, they were dominating. The Council, divided and struggling to maintain control, realized that underestimating humans had been a fatal mistake. Humanity's story had become one of courage, intelligence, and unity. Each victory, each calculated strike, and each act of bravery contributed to a growing legend. The galaxy now watched as Earth's people reshaped the balance of power, proving that a species that worked together with determination and innovation could overcome even the most powerful adversaries. The Galactic Council's central station was in chaos. Messages of defeat and intercepted communications reached them from every corner of their territory. Commander Jonathan Crews and the human fleet pressed their advantage, knowing that this was the moment to secure a decisive victory. Each ship, from the largest battleship to the smallest scout vessel, worked in perfect coordination, striking key targets with precision and efficiency. Alice Munro and David Hill monitored Council communications, providing critical intelligence. They identified the locations of command centers, supply hubs, and high-ranking officials. Each report allowed crews to plan attacks that would maximize impact while minimizing human losses. Humans moved with a combination of bravery and intelligence that left the Council stunned. Lieutenant Megan Fox led a squadron to intercept a fleet attempting to reinforce the Council's central station. Using speed and strategy, the squadron disabled larger ships with minimal damage to themselves. Pilots worked as a team, anticipating enemy maneuvers and exploiting weaknesses. Their success further demoralized the Council forces. On Earth, citizens followed the conflict with awe and pride. President Jonathan Miles spoke to the world, honoring every human involved in the campaign. Ethan Parker's sacrifice ignited our courage. We have honored him and proven that humanity will not be intimidated. Our unity and intelligence have brought us here, to the edge of a new era in the galaxy. Engineers continued to enhance technology, scientists improved energy systems, and strategists refined plans for continued operations. Dr. Samuel Grant oversaw the deployment of new energy warheads designed for precision strikes on key installations. Each device was tested under strict conditions and used to disable Council ships and stations without unnecessary destruction. This approach ensured humanity's tactical superiority and sent a message that they could neutralize threats efficiently and decisively. Alice and David coordinated intelligence and communication across the fleet. They discovered the Council's leaders were divided and panicking. Some advocated surrender, while others insisted on fighting to the last. Their indecision provided humans with a crucial advantage, allowing crews to strike decisively and prevent organized retaliation. The human fleet approached the Council's central command station. Crews directed the main attack, splitting forces to neutralize defenses and isolate command nodes. Smaller, faster units created diversions, drawing Council fire away from critical targets. Megan Fox led her squadron through narrow corridors, disabling defensive systems and capturing essential intelligence. The Council's central leaders tried to send reinforcements, but humans anticipated every move. Alice and David provided real-time updates, allowing crews to adapt quickly. Energy shields held firm against Council attacks, and human warships moved in perfect synchronization. Each successful maneuver increased the morale of the fleet and the confidence of Earth's people. As the final engagement commenced, the Council's forces were fragmented and disorganized. Human pilots and ships advanced with precision, disabling critical systems and capturing key positions. The Council's command structures collapsed under the pressure, leaving their forces without coordination. Cruz's leadership, combined with Alice and David's intelligence, proved unstoppable. On Earth, celebrations erupted as news of decisive victories reached the public. Citizens cheered, engineers continued to innovate, and leaders prepared to solidify humanity's new standing in the galaxy. President Miles emphasized that every human had contributed to the success, from pilots and strategists to engineers and scientists. Ethan Parker's memory remained central to humanity's triumph, a symbol of bravery and dedication. The Council, now powerless and fractured, finally surrendered. Humans imposed terms ensuring accountability and measures to prevent future aggression. Alien species recognized that humanity's combination of courage, intelligence, and unity could not be ignored. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of Earth as a dominant force. Alice and David reflected on the journey. They had seen humanity grow from a species underestimated by the galaxy to one capable of decisive victories. The sacrifice of Ethan Parker had set the path, and humans had honored him through courage, strategy, and determination. Commander Cruz and Lieutenant Megan Fox received commendations for their leadership and bravery. Engineers and scientists were praised for technological advancements that gave humans a decisive edge. Every citizen of Earth had contributed to a victory that reshaped the galaxy. As humanity solidified control over former Council territories, the people of Earth understood their responsibility. They would protect their species, honor the memory of those who sacrificed, and ensure that no envoy or civilian would be harmed again. The story of courage, intelligence, and unity had reached its climax, proving that humans were a force that demanded respect. The final days of conflict saw humans consolidating their gains. Alice and David continued to provide intelligence, ensuring the stability of new territories. Cruz and Megan Fox oversaw fleets that remained vigilant, ready to respond to any future threats. Dr. Samuel Grant refined technologies to maintain superiority. President Miles led the effort to establish governance that respected both humans and the remaining alien species willing to cooperate. Humanity had transformed from a species underestimated and threatened into a dominant force in the galaxy. Courage, intelligence, and unity had prevailed. The memory of Ethan Parker inspired every human to continue striving for excellence, peace, and preparedness. The galaxy had learned a lesson that would resonate for generations. Humans were not to be underestimated, and their resolve was unmatched. With the Galactic Council dismantled and humans in control, Earth entered a new era. Citizens celebrated victories, honored sacrifices, and prepared for the responsibilities that came with power. Humanity's reputation was established across the stars, ensuring that any future conflict would recognize the courage and intelligence that defined them. The legacy of bravery, strategy, and unity would guide humans as they shaped the galaxy's future, honoring those who had given their lives to make this possible.